ఓకే, ఫిగర్ ఇట్ అవుట్. నాకు తెలీదు. Right, guys, I think I'm live now. If you can see me, if you can hear me, if everything is good, please do let me know in the chat. Once you let me know in the chat, we will start today's session. Yeah, I think I'm live now. So please go to krakow.in/live. As usual, we'll be solving questions. I want to focus on these Saturday revision classes as a way in which we solve questions together. So we have already done 2 live streams. One was on arithmetic. There I think I solved around 20 to 21 questions. The second one was last week on number systems. And this is the third one. This is on algebra. Next week, because it is Dasara on a Saturday, we are not sure whether we'll do it or not. But if you are looking for us to do it on any other day, please do let us know which day will be comfortable for you. We want to hold the next session on geometry. But the day is not sure because the next week is the Dasara holiday. So we are not so sure people would actually want to stream on that day, or people would want to listen to a stream on that day. So anyway, please go to krakow.in/live. Today we will be solving 19 questions. As usual, I want to tell you 2 things. I'll actually tell you 3 things. The first thing is, anybody who gets all the questions correct, they will get a free t-shirt by Krakow. One thing I want to tell you is that these 19 questions this time all of them are from previous year's papers, but they are not very easy. That much I can tell you. I think there are some of the questions which are definitely on the medium to hard side. So anybody who actually gets even 18 questions correct, I'm actually going to give a leeway of 1 question. Anybody who gets 18 out of the 19 questions correct, I think they'll get a free Krakow t-shirt. That is the first thing. The second thing is, I want people to like the stream. This is, we are doing, it is not just me, but my entire team is actually working. There are people who have prepared these questions, people who are helping me stream this. There are other people who are making thumbnails. All of us are actually working on a Saturday to help you. So all I'm going to ask you is, please do like the stream, because the more you like the stream, the more it will motivate us to do these kind of sessions more often. That is the second thing I want to do. The third thing I want to tell you is to take mocks. Now is the time for you to take CAT mocks. So if you're enrolled to the Krakow Dash Cats, definitely take them. Especially I think Dash Cats 1, 2 and 3 are pretty good. So I would recommend you to take them. They're taken by thousands of students. I've done a stream on Krakow Dash Cat 1 analysis just recently. You can check it out if you're enrolled to the Krakow mocks. Secondly, if you are not enrolled to the Krakow mocks, we have 3 free CAT mocks. The link to take them is given in the description of this video. You can take them. With that introduction done, remember these 3 things. Anybody who gets 18 out of the 19 questions correct will get a free Krakow shirt. Please do like the stream. We have close to 150 people who are watching this stream live. I want to get to at least 300 likes before the stream ends. The third thing is, from now till CAT, you have around 50 days. I want you to take as many mocks as you can. Let us go ahead and start the first question. Please go to krakow.in/live to participate in the test. Mohan Bharat is saying, sir, where can I get the mock series? I want to purchase. If you're looking to enroll to the Krakow mocks, which are called Dash Cats, please do send a mail to support@krakow.in. We will get back to you with the link to enroll to it. It is not just about mocks. If you're looking for daily targets, if you're looking for the 50-day crash course, if you're looking for any course of Krakow, please do send a mail to support@krakow.in. Anjali is saying, sir, is this previous year's questions? All the 19 questions that we are going to solve today are from previous year's CAT. I think 1 or 2 of them are from previous year's ZAT. But all of them are actually from previous year's papers. And unfortunately, I think some of them are actually tough. I felt that some of them are actually on the tougher side. But I felt it is okay. I'll anyways be answering them. I'll also try to tell you any shortcuts that I think will work. So I thought it will be beneficial. So I put in some hard questions. Like the last 2 streams, especially in the arithmetic one, I don't think there were a lot of hard questions. I think most of them were on the slightly easy side. This one, I think some of them will be hard, but that is okay. I'll explain it to them. How to add answer? You can go to krakow.in/live, Anirudh. If you go to krakow.in/live, I'll just explain this question. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, let's get started. Vijay is saying, what kind of DLR sets will be your last choice? Is it games and tournaments? My last choice will be games and tournaments. I don't particularly like. I also don't like scheduling kind of sets. In general, I also don't like this selection with some criteria. Any set which involves me to solve the questions individually are the kind of sets that I don't want to answer. Any set which I can solve it in one go and then go ahead and answer all the 5 questions, those are the kind of sets I would want to prefer first. Okay, let us look at this question. Here we are given values for V. V, we are told, lies between 1 and -1, and U lies between -0.5 and -2. So the first thing you will observe is that U is always negative. It is lying between -2 and -0.5. V lies between -1 and 1. So it can be positive, negative, or even 0. Similarly, Z, we are told, lies between -0.5 and -2. So Z also is always negative. We are told that W is equal to V into Z by U. We are required to calculate which of the following is necessarily true. So we are basically required to calculate the boundaries for W. What is the maximum value that W can take? W max. One thing you should notice is that Z is always negative, U is always negative. So Z by U will always be positive. So if you are trying to maximize W, you want to have V to be as high as possible. So the highest possible value of V will be 1. So this will be 1 into, you want to have Z by W to be at its highest. So that will be when Z is -2 and U is -0.5. So the maximum value of W will be 4. Similarly, when you are trying to minimize W, again Z by U will always be positive because Z is negative, U is negative. So Z by U is always positive. So you will try to make V to be as high as possible in the negative sense. So V has to take -1. And again, you will have Z by W to be as high as possible because it will be a positive number and we are multiplying it by -1 so that it will become very low. Again, it will be -2 and -0.5. So Z min will be -4. So W will vary between 4 and -4. So the correct answer is option B. The number of people who got it correct is 41. Let us look at the next question. Komal Agarwal is saying, sir, what is the LOD of dash cat 12? When will we get the video solution for the same? I think all the video solutions for dash cat 12 quant are completely up. The quant solution, the LRD and verbal solution will be updated in the next 2-3 days. Niriksha Shetty is saying, I have not given mocks. Is it okay to start late mocks? The thing is, it is ideal time to start mocks is in June. The second ideal time to start mocks is today. So just start taking mocks. Don't worry about whether you're late, whether you're early. All of these things don't matter. So what matters is what you can do from now till the examination. So just start taking one mock every weekend without fail. Every week you have to take one mock. Amay is asking, sir, are there any VRC courses available as crash course? Please do send a mail to support@krakow.in. And we will get back to you. Okay, 82 people got this correct and 45 got it wrong. So you can see that these are not very difficult questions. These are good questions. So I hope that you are actually solving them. So here we are told that x, y and z are positive integers such that x is greater than y is greater than z. Which of the following is closest to the product x, y and z? So x, y, z are three positive integers such that x is greater than y is greater than z. We are given four options. The first option is x minus 1 into yz, which is xyz minus yz. The second one is x into y minus 1 into z, which is again xyz minus xz. The third option is xy into z minus 1, which is xyz minus xy. And the fourth one is x into y plus 1 into z, which is xyz plus xz. So if you're looking for the distance of this from xyz, or basically the difference between xyz and each of these options, the first one differs by yz, the second one differs by xz, the third one differs by xy, and the fourth one again differs by xz. Which of the following is closest to xyz? would imply that which of them is the minimum? Which of the following options is the minimum? What do we know about it? We know that x is greater than y is greater than z. So the product of the two smallest numbers, that is y into z, will be the minimum. So the correct option will be yz. If you are not sure, you can compare it to any of them. For example, yz will be less than xz. Because y is less than x, yz will be less than xz. So these two won't be the answer. Similarly, yz will be less than xy. Why is that the case? Because z is less than x, yz is less than xy. So this also is not the answer. So this will be the minimum one. So the correct answer is option A, which is this. Let us go to the next question. We have 172 people who are watching on the website and more than 150 people are watching on the YouTube channel. Please do like the stream, guys. We have less than 107 likes. So I want to get to at least 300 likes before the stream ends. Very good, guys. Many of you have actually given the answer in the YouTube chat. I really like it. Let us see how many of you can actually give the answer in the YouTube chat as quickly as possible, even for this one. This is an interesting question. So I'll be very interested to see how many of you will actually get it correct. Only answer or only guess if you have actually solved it. That is my only request. This also is from one of the previous year's papers. Ananya Patnaik, can we take a number example like 3 to 1? I think you can definitely take it. That is not at all an issue. Gautam Yadav is saying, sir, I will get complete syllabus done in abstract algebra now. I think that is fine, but I would recommend you to take mocks on the side. It should not be that you are waiting for your syllabus to be completed before you start taking the mocks. I'll look at your chat, guys. Just give me a couple of minutes. I have to do something important, and after that, I will look at your chat. Vaibhav Tripathi Singh, sir, I'm watching at both as your website put video quality limited 360p. Okay, man, I'm sorry for that. We will try to change it in the coming days. I know that many of you have asked some doubts. I'll answer them after explaining this question. 52 people got this correct. Very good, guys. I felt this was not a very trivial question, so I'm actually very interested. Sir, how do you solve with tricks in exam fastly? Krakow mocks are super beneficial. Okay, thanks a lot, Chamaklal. Let us see. In this question, again, see, many people ask me how do I solve quickly. I normally don't use a lot of tricks. Whether you believe it or not, I normally don't use a lot of tricks to solve, because I feel that if I use a lot of tricks, my accuracy will go down. So I try to not solve using tricks because I want to get 100% accuracy. But sometimes you are able to solve it. Like I explained one of the tricks in one of the videos that we made about remainder theorems. So in those kind of situations, I can use it. Sometimes I also substitute the values of x, y, z as numbers to actually solve it faster. But in general, I feel that don't rely on tricks. I'll actually tell you some of the tricks in the upcoming questions where you can actually use them. It is sometimes beneficial in algebra. But again, when you are using tricks, remember that the accuracy will not be 100%. The accuracy will be lesser, which I think for some people it should be okay. If your accuracy is 80 or 90 also, it should be okay. In those kind of situations, these kind of tricks will help, which I'll explain in the upcoming questions. Now, in a locality, we are told that every family has at most 2 adults and at least 3 children. Considering all the families together, there are more adults than boys than girls, and more girls than families. Then the minimum possible number of families in the locality is. That is what we are required to calculate. Let us try to see if we can have just one family. We'll see what is the issue with it. If we are having one family, what is the maximum number of adults we have? We will have 2 adults. And we know that the number of adults is greater than the number of boys. So the maximum number of boys we will have is 1 boy. And the number of boys is greater than the number of girls. So the number of girls we will have will be 0. So again, the total children in this family is only 1. So this is not possible. Let us assume that suppose we have 2 families. If we are having 2 families, what is the maximum number of adults we can have? We can have 4 adults. The number of adults is greater than the number of boys. So the maximum number of boys we will have will be 3 boys. And the number of boys is greater than the number of girls. So the number of girls we'll have will be, say, 2 girls. Now the total number of children we have is only 5. And there are 2 families. So both the families cannot have at least 3 children, because in that case the number of children will be at least 6. So this case is also not possible. So let us assume if we have 3 families. If we have 3 families, the maximum number of adults we can have is 6 adults. The number of boys can be 5 boys. And the number of girls can be 4 girls. The total number of children now is 9, which is having 3 families. So every family can have 3 children. So on the face of it, there seems to be no contradiction. Now let us see if we can actually distribute the 3 families and ensure that this is actually working. So we have family 1, which has, say, 2 boys and 1 girl and 2 adults. Family 2 also has 2 boys, 1 girl and 2 adults. And family 3 has 1 boy, 2 girls and 2 adults. Here the total number of adults is 6 adults. The total number of boys is 5 boys. Total number of girls is 4 girls, which is exactly what we wanted in this setup. So the number of girls is less than the number of boys, is less than the number of adults. And the number of girls is greater than the number of families. So no contradiction is happening. So the minimum number of families is option D. In these kind of questions, you have to have a sense of logical reasoning, which is LR. But this is also from a previous year's paper. It is not that I'm giving you some random questions. So these kind of questions can actually come from in the examination. Let us look at the next question. How many mocks have each of you taken in the last, say, 15 days? Please do let me know in the chat. I'm just looking for the number of mocks that you have taken in the last 15 days. Many people have given D as the answer last time. Very good, guys. JNBT is saying, sir, I took Dashcat 3 today and I would say I feel disheartened. I got very stressed in LRD and didn't solve any question and ended up not having motivation for quant section. See, the thing is, these kind of things will happen, but you have to learn from it. On the day of the examination, if you feel that you haven't done well in any particular section, even then, don't give up on the next section. I can give you one example of what happened to one of the Krakow content managers. We hire people who have scored well in CAT to help us build good questions and build good content. So in one of the years, there was one guy who was a very smart fellow, very smart chap. He was aiming for 99.8, 99.9 in the examination. He wanted to go to IMC. That was his dream college. I think because his 12th score is less or his undergraduation is less, there was some issue with his profile. So his dream college was IIM Calcutta. He worked very hard for the last 5-6 months towards CAT. And on the day of the examination, this was in, I think, 2017 or so. Till then, LRDA was not very difficult. On his examination in that year, LRDA became suddenly very difficult. Till then, it used to be not very crazily difficult, but suddenly it changed a lot. It became very logical reasoning or focused, and he was completely caught unawares, and he completely messed up the LRDA section. So I think in those days, I think there were 8 sets. This was when the examination was 3 hours long. So out of, I think 32 questions, this guy attempted in 1 hour, I think he attempted 2 sets or 3 sets. So he attempted, I think, 11 questions out of 32. And that was unexpected, because if you are assuming that the paper will be easy or you are not at all prepared for it, and he felt that he completely messed up. But even then, he held his composure and he did very well in quant, which was his strength. But after coming out of the examination center, he called me and he told me that, sir, I didn't do well at all. It is unfortunate that I will not clear the LRDA sectional cutoff, because I did very poorly in it, but I did well in quant. So overall, I might get some converts or some college admission, which is not, which doesn't look at the LRDA sectional. That is what he told me. On the day of the result, basically all the questions he attempted in LRDA were correct. Out of 11 was correct. And I think at that time, even though 33 marks seems very high in LRDA now, in those days, because there was 1 hour per sectional and there were 8 LRDA sets instead of 4 LRDA sets now, he just about managed to clear the cutoff. I think his LRDS section was around 81 or so, but he did very well in quant and in verbal. So his overall percentile I think was some 99.7, 99.8, and he actually got into IIM Calcutta, which was his dream college. Essentially, and I felt very happy and very proud with that. And I also give his example many times, which is basically that if you mess up in any one section, if you hold your nerves and if you do well in the last section, that many times is sufficient. So don't give up if you are having a very poor section. It is very important for you to remember this on the day of the examination. Okay, let us look at this question, guys. Please do like the stream, guys. We have more than 170 people who are watching the stream live and we have only 134 likes. I want to get to at least 350 likes before the stream ends. So we need another 200 likes. Please do like the stream, guys. Let me answer this question. M is the smallest positive integer such that whenever n is a number which is greater than or equal to m, the quantity n cube minus 7n square plus 11n minus 5 is positive. What is the value of m? Let us first factorize this. We have n cube minus 7n square plus 11n minus 5. Now, how can we find any factors? Let us substitute the value of n to be some number. Let us substitute n to be equal to 1. So, what is the value of this expression? This will be 1 minus 7 plus 11 minus 5, which is equal to 0. Whenever you are getting a 0 over here, it would imply that n minus 1 is a factor. So, we can factorize this. This will be n cube minus n square minus 6n square plus 6n plus 5n minus 5. We have basically split 7n square as 6n square and n square, and we have split 11n as 6n plus 5n. Because now we can take n minus 1 common here. This is n square into n minus 1 minus 6n common over here to again get n minus 1, plus we can take 5 common over here and this becomes n minus 1. Or this is n square minus 6n plus 5 into n minus 1. N square minus 6n plus 5 can be factorized as n minus 1 into n minus 5. So basically this expression that we are given is n minus 1 factorial into n minus 5. We are told that this is greater than 0. When is this greater than 0? This term n minus 1 whole square is essentially always greater than or equal to 0. It will be equal to 0 only when n is 1. Otherwise it is always greater than 0. And this expression will be positive if n is greater than 5, and it will be negative if n is less than 5. So very simply, whenever you are told that this is greater than 5, it would imply that n is greater than 5. So the value of m will be equal to 6, because m is the smallest integer such that n is greater than or equal to m. So the minimum value of n for which this quantity is always positive is when n is equal to 6. So the value of m is 6, which is option. It is actually not there, so it will be none of these. Let us look at the next question. Let me answer a few questions, guys. Rishi Singh is saying correct, it has to be greater than 5. That's very good. Okay. Frost is saying I'm scoring around 40 to 45 in Krakow mocks, want to score 99 percentile, please help. I think you have to increase your score Frost knocks by another 20 marks. I think if you are scoring around 70, 75, I think you are in a chance for 99 percentile. So you have to just practice more and more and have belief. If you have belief, if you believe that you can actually do it, I think you can do it. That is halfway there. And I believe that in the last 1.5 months, you can definitely increase your score from 55 to 75. So definitely I think that is possible. Believe in yourself and work more and answer as many questions as you can. Solve them on your own. Okay, in the poll, people said they have taken 5 mocks, 37%. 10 mocks were told by 31%. 2 mocks were told by 15% and no mocks were told by 15%. Guys, one thing I would tell you is very simple, especially people who have not taken a mock, please start taking a mock. Otherwise, you will definitely regret it on the day of the examination. And in my opinion, you are just not helping yourself. I don't want to like put you in any anxiety or panic, but I want you to take mocks, because otherwise you are definitely going to underperform on the day of the examination. I want you to take at least one mock every week from now till the examination, so that you at least take around 10 mocks till the examination. Please don't put off taking mocks for much later. Nothing will happen. Even if you underperform in a few mocks, nothing will happen. It is only going to be beneficial for you. It is basically like saying I want to run in a marathon and I don't want to like run the full distance. And if you are trying to run a half marathon, which is a 21-kilometer event, and if you're only practicing running 1 kilometer and 2 kilometers, on the day of the half marathon, you are going to struggle. It is much better for you to try to run say 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers once in a while, so that you can assess your preparation. This also is similar to it. And if you try to run 10 kilometers and then you fail miserably, it is completely fine. Then at least you will realize what you have to do next and how to improve. So at least it will be a wake-up call. So don't put off taking mocks. That is not at all good. "76 people got it correct." I'll tell my first shortcut in this kind of a question now. I think many people actually would know that shortcut, because of which nearly 100 people got this correct, which is very nice to see. Normally, when you are given this kind of a question, when you are told that a, b, c and d are positive integers such that a, b, c, d is equal to 1, and we are required to calculate either the minimum value or the maximum value of an expression in a, b, c, d. What I try to do is, I try to see if this given information is symmetrical in a, b, c, d. That is, it can be either a, b, c, d, or it can be 5 into a, b, c, d, or it can be a square into b square into c square into d square, or it can be a plus b plus c plus d, or something or the other, where if you interchange the values of a, b, c and d, it won't matter. Those are symmetrical expressions. On the other hand, non-symmetrical expressions are something like a square into b cube, or a cube into b square. This is not a symmetrical expression, but an expression which is of the form a square plus b square is symmetrical, where a and b are exactly essentially the same. Whatever expressions that you're putting to a and b is exactly the same. Similarly, a plus b is symmetrical, but say a plus b by 2 is not symmetrical. So essentially, if you're getting a symmetrical expression over here, and whatever you are asked to find out is also symmetrical, in most of the cases, in 90% of the cases, just assume that a is equal to b is equal to c is equal to d. Now again, I'm not telling you that in 100% of the cases this will work, but it works mostly in 90% of the cases, especially in CAT. In CAT, basically, if somebody is actually giving you this kind of a question, in most of the cases, if you just put a is equal to b is equal to c is equal to d, it will work. So in this particular case, I'll first explain this shortcut, and after that I'll explain it in a proper way. In this particular case, if you are told that a, b, c, d is equal to 1 and a, b, c and d are positive numbers, you will just put a is equal to b is equal to c is equal to d is equal to 1, and then calculate the value of 1 plus a into 1 plus b into 1 plus c into 1 plus d, which will be 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. This is equal to 16. So you can mark 16 and go ahead. Again, like I mentioned earlier, if you are just using this trick, which is kind of a shortcut, you will get it correct 90% of the time. But 10% of the time you will get it wrong. You have to be okay with it, which I think in most of the cases should be fine. This is basically the shortcut you have to do, but just check that the expression you are getting and the expression that you are asked to calculate are both symmetrical in a and b. This is not symmetrical. A cube into b square is not symmetrical. A has cube, b has square, so it is not symmetrical. A plus b by 2 is also not symmetrical. A is not divided by anything, b is divided by 2. A square plus b square is symmetrical, a plus b is symmetrical. This is basically the shortcut. Now if you want to understand this in an exact way, I'll explain it now. It will be slightly lengthy, but again, it is not very difficult. If you use the core concepts, you'll get it correct. It might take you slightly longer time. For example, what is 1 plus a into 1 plus b into 1 plus c into 1 plus d? That will be 1 plus a plus b plus c plus d, and then you have ab plus bc plus ad plus ac plus bd plus cd, and finally you have abc plus bcd plus abd plus acd, plus you have abcd. This is basically the expansion of the given expression. abcd is 1, 1 is 1, so that is 2, plus because the product abcd is equal to 1, bcd is equal to 1 by a. So you are having this a plus 1 by a, and you are going to get ACD is equal to 1 by B, because the product ABCD is equal to 1. So you'll have this B plus ACD. This will be basically B plus 1 by B. Again, ABD is equal to 1 by C. So you'll get this C plus 1 by C. Again, lastly, you are going to get ABC is equal to 1 by D. So you'll get this as D plus 1 by D. Finally, you're left with AB plus BC plus AD plus AC plus BD plus CD, which is basically 6 terms. AB is equal to 1 by CD. So this is basically CD plus 1 by CD. These two. Similarly, you are going to get BC is equal to 1 by AD. So these two are basically AD plus 1 by AD. And finally, you have AC plus BD, which is again just AC plus 1 by AC. Now, A plus 1 by A is always greater than or equal to 2. The equality will occur when A is equal to 1. B plus 1 by B is greater than or equal to 2. Again, the equality will occur when B is 1. C plus 1 by C is greater than or equal to 2. Again, the equality will occur when C is 1. D plus 1 by D is greater than or equal to 2. Again, the equality will occur when D is 1. CD plus 1 by CD is again greater than or equal to 2. The equality will occur when the product CD is equal to 1. AD plus 1 by AD is greater than or equal to 2. The equality will occur when AD is equal to 1. AC plus 1 by AC is again greater than or equal to 2. The product AC has to be equal to 1 for the equality to occur. If you are adding all of them, you are essentially going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, which is 16. So the minimum value is 16. Let us look at the next question. Ashmit Sachin, if you are actually taking 1, 1, half, half, it won't be equal. You can actually substitute it and say it won't be equal because first of all, the product 1, 1, half, half is not equal to 1. You want the product to be equal to 1, so it should be 1, 1, half and 2. But even then, the product will be greater than 16. The equality will occur only when all of them are the same. JNPT is saying, sir, what if the number should be distinct? If the number should be distinct, again, these kind of shortcuts will not work. Having said that, if the number should be distinct, if the equality is bringing the minimum value, if they are close to each other or if they are very close to each other, the product or whatever it is will again be minimized. But again, these kind of things, shortcuts will not work always. Raman Bhandari is saying, sir, I've given 7 mocks of Krakow, but when should I start solving previous year's paper questions simultaneously or later? Start solving it simultaneously. Previous year's questions, I would recommend you to solve say 5 or 10 questions every day. That I think is the best way to go about it. Samiksha is saying, sir, I'm scoring 30 to 35 and my major issue is maths. How do I tackle maths at this stage when I have the concept clarity, but how do I practice sums? You have to just practice. Even if you fail, it's okay. And again, the best resource for you to practice is previous year's papers. If you're looking for quant, I would recommend you to not start with CAT 2023 because the paper is very tough and it might demotivate you. Start with say CAT 2022, go to CAT 2021 and so on. Download the PDFs from the Krakow website. In the PDF, we have a nice feature where below the question, there is a link to watch the video solution. If you just click on it, you will be redirected to the video solution. So it is easy to watch the video solution of that particular question. We have close to 200 people who are watching the stream live, guys, and we have only 179 likes. Please do like the stream. We need to get to 350 likes before the stream ends. Also, let me know how many of you have actually watched the CAT revision videos of Krakow. We have this excellent revision video series, CAT revision playlist. I hope that all of you have bookmarked the CAT revision playlist. We have 4 videos, 2 for quant, 1 for LRDI and 1 for verbal. I think this is the best way in which you can revise the entire portion very quickly. If you haven't watched it, definitely watch it. If you know about the CAT revision playlist, I would recommend you to bookmark this page and watch it at your leisure. Pinky Gupta Dash Cat 1 I think is absolutely CAT level. I think it is a fantastic mock. it is slightly on the difficult side, but that is exactly how CAT 2023 was. So I have no qualms in actually saying that it is as similar to CAT as I think it should be. Again, we got 85 people who got this question correct. So again, let us try to solve this using a shortcut. Whenever you are given a expression like this, you are told that x and y are positive numbers such that x plus y is 1. And you are asked to calculate the minimum value of x plus 1 by x whole square plus y plus 1 by y whole square. Whenever you are given this kind of a question, what I would tell you is very simple. The shortcut is to see if the expression that you are given is symmetrical in x and y. Here you are told x plus y is 1. So there is nothing special about x and y. They are essentially interchangeable. So it is symmetrical. Similarly, x plus 1 by x whole square and y plus 1 by y whole square is also symmetrical in x and y. Like I mentioned earlier, for example, x plus y plus 1 by x plus 1 by y is symmetrical in x and y. But say x plus y plus 1 by x is not symmetrical in x and y because we don't have the 1 by y. Here both of them are symmetrical. So in 90% of the cases, the answer will be when x is equal to y. It is not true always, but it is true 90% of the time. So here just substitute x is equal to y and see what the answer will be. If x is equal to y, x will be equal to y will be equal to 1 by 2. And x plus 1 by x whole square will be 2 1 by 2, which is 5 by 2 whole square plus 5 by 2 whole square. If you are simplifying this, you are actually going to get 25 by 2, which is 12.5. So you should mark the answer as 12.5 and go ahead. This will be sufficient 90% of the time. 10% of the time you will actually get it wrong. So, but your accuracy will be pretty high. Now let us try to solve it in a usual way. The way to solve it in a usual way is you are told that x plus y is 1 and you are asked to calculate the minimum value of x plus 1 by x whole square plus y plus 1 by y whole square. Before we answer it, I'll just tell you two more things which will be useful for solving this question. One of the things is a plus a square plus b square is always greater than or equal to a plus b whole square divided by 2. What do I mean by it? What I mean by it is a plus b whole square, if a and b are positive, a plus b whole square divided by 2 is a square plus b square by 2 plus ab. You can prove this basically using the arithmetic mean is greater than or equal to geometric mean. You know that a square plus b square divided by 2 is greater than or equal to ab. If you just add a square plus b square by 2 to both sides, you are going to get a square plus b square by 2 and you are going to get a square plus b square by 2. This is basically a square plus b square. This is greater than or equal to a plus b whole square divided by 2. What this means is basically if you are told that okay, the value of a plus b is 10. The minimum value of a square plus b square is equal to 50. If you are told that a plus b is equal to say 12, the minimum value of a square plus b square will be 36. Will it be 36? No, it won't be 36. It is 144 divided by 2, which is 72. This is basically something I want you to remember. This is true when a and b are positive integers. And the equality will occur as you can expect when a is equal to b. We'll use this concept 2 times in this particular question. Another thing I want you to tell you is the arithmetic mean is greater than or equal to harmonic mean. In this case, x plus y is 1. So x plus y divided by 2 is greater than or equal to 2 divided by 1 by x plus 1 by y. This is always true. X plus y is 1. So 1 by x plus 1 by y is greater than or equal to 4. Once you know this, just expand what is given over here. X plus 1 by x whole square is x square plus 1 by x square plus 2 and y plus 1 by y whole square is plus y square plus 1 by y square plus 2. This is x square plus y square plus 1 by x square plus 1 by y square plus 4. Now what we know is that x square plus y square is greater than or equal to x plus y by 2, x plus y whole square divided by 2. So this is greater than or equal to 1 by 2. 1 by x whole square plus 1 by y whole square is greater than or equal to 1 by x plus 1 by y whole square divided by 2. But 1 by x plus 1 by y is greater than or equal to 4. So the square of this will be greater than or equal to 16. 16 by 2 is greater than or equal to 8 plus 4. So overall this expression will be greater than or equal to 1 by 2 plus 8 plus 4, which is equal to 12.5. So the answer for this question is option C. Let us look at the next question. Okay, this is actually a little alarming. 73% of the people have not watched the revision playlist. I think you are missing out on something which is going to be very, very useful. I don't want to exaggerate it or I don't want to overhype it, but it is worth overhyping. Those I think will be the most beneficial videos, the best return on your time investment for your CAT preparation. So definitely I would recommend you to bookmark the CAT revision videos playlist. They will be very, very useful for you. Definitely bookmark the CAT revision playlist. I think we have just posted the link to it, and definitely watch the entire playlist. You will definitely be very, very happy. And if you actually found the revision playlist to be useful, please do comment below the revision playlist that you found it useful. Because I watch it, I watch the comments also regularly, and it makes me happy to see that whatever work we are doing is helping a lot of people. Ananya Patnaik saying, where is the revision playlist, sir? We'll post the link for the revision playlist shortly, and then you can bookmark it there. Gautam Yadav is saying, sir, is the level of CET Maharashtra exam low? It is definitely lower than CAT. It, I think, is slightly more focused on speed. Pinky Gupta is saying, sir, what is the, at the moment, the right roadmap for CAT 2024? I would say that focus mostly on solving questions and solving mocks, and then watch revision videos or concept videos. Other than that, I don't want you to waste any time doing anything else. I don't want you to, for example, by heart any vocabulary or anything like that. Just focus on solving questions and taking mocks. Okay, 36 people got it correct and 48 people got it wrong. This is, I think, a difficult question. I'm actually impressed with the people who got it correct. This, I don't think, is very easy. Let us try to solve it. In this kind of a question, what I would recommend you to do is just substitute the value. You have two equations and you have three variables. So just remove one variable. Once you remove one variable, you are going to get a quadratic equation in two variables. And then you can try to find out the values that the other one can take. So for example, x plus y plus z is 5. And we are given the value of xy plus yz plus xz. This is equal to 3. So what is the value of z? Z is 5 minus x minus y. So let us just substitute the value of z in the second equation. So you are going to get xy plus y into z is y into this, which is 5y minus xy minus y square plus zx. So we'll substitute the value of z in this, which is plus 5x minus x square minus xy is equal to 3. If you are trying to make this into a quadratic equation in y, you can first cancel xy and xy over here. This will be y square plus xy minus 5y plus x square minus 5x plus 3 is equal to 0. So this is basically y square plus y into x minus 5 plus x square minus 5x plus 3 is equal to 0. You are told that x, y and z are real numbers. So we know that in a quadratic equation which is of the form ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. If x has to be real, the discriminant d has to be greater than or equal to 0. What is the discriminant? It is b square minus 4ac. That has to be greater than or equal to 0. So here we will make this as a quadratic equation in y, and the discriminant has to be greater than or equal to 0. This would imply that x minus 5 whole square has to be greater than or equal to 4 times x square minus 5x plus 3. This is x square minus 10x plus 25 is greater than or equal to 4x square minus 20x plus 12, or 3x square minus 10x minus 13 is less than or equal to 0. This can be simplified. This will be basically 3x square minus 13x plus 3x minus 13 is less than or equal to 0, which is x plus 1 into 3x minus 13 is less than or equal to 0. For this to happen, x has to lie between minus 1 and 13 by 3. So the maximum value that x can take is 13 by 3. So the correct answer in this particular case will be option C. Let us look at the next question. Mukesh, if you assume y and z to be equal, I don't think it will be correct. I don't think the answer will be right if you assume x and y and z to be the same. Decimal can be real number. Any number which is not complex is a real number. Manan Runwal is saying, sir, I scored 90 percentile in CAT 2023, but it is now difficult to even score 85. See, you have to motivate yourself, man. It is very important for you to motivate yourself. You should be your biggest cheerleader. If you demotivate yourself, then nobody else is going to motivate you. That is how the world works. So you have to be more confident. You have to tell yourself that this is something I can do. Whether you believe it or not, the moment you actually say it, you'll start believing it. Okay. Here x is greater than 5 and y is less than 1. Which of the following statements is true? Let us see how many people got it correct. 53 people got it correct. So till now I think 4 people got full marks. Let us see whether they can actually maintain it for the 19 questions. X is greater than 5 and y is less than 1. Which of the following statements is true? Basically we are asked to find out which of them is always true. That is what we'll be focusing on. So essentially we'll try to see whether we can contradict these options. There should be one option which cannot be contradicted. That should be true for all values of x and y which are in this interval. Then that will be the answer. So let us look at the first option. Here we are told that we want x plus 4y to be greater than 1. We are told that x is greater than 5 and y is less than minus 1. So to contradict this, we'll just make y to be a very large negative number. So we'll make x to be say 6 and y to be say minus 100. Then x plus 4y will be 6 minus 400 which is minus 394 which is contradicted, so this is not true. This might be true sometimes, but this is also false sometimes, like in this example. So option A is not the answer. We are looking for an option which is always true. Option B is x is greater than minus 4y. We can again use the same example. If we make x to be 6 and y to be minus 100, 4y is basically minus 400. Minus 4y is 400. So x is not greater than minus 4y. So this also is not true. In the third case, minus 4x is less than 5y. Or essentially what we are looking for is, if you simplify this, we are looking for 4x plus 5y to be greater than 0. Is it true? Again we can use the same example. We'll again make x to be 6 which is like a smallest possible value and y to be very high like say minus 100. Then 4x plus 5y will be 24 minus 500 which is I think 474, minus 474. So this also is not true. So we can easily find a contradiction for options A, B and C. So the correct answer is none of this. Let us look at the next question. And if you get this question correct, this is in progressions. This is an easy one in progressions. Please do message in the stream. In the YouTube stream if you message, or if you message in the chat, I'll look at it and I'll recognize your efforts. We have 230 people who are watching the stream live. That is fantastic to see. And we have 223 likes. The target before the stream ends is 400 likes. So please do like the stream, guys. We just need another 170 likes. Just get another 170 likes and then we'll hit our target. One more thing I want you to tell me is the next stream will be on geometry. We have already done 2 streams before this. This is the third stream. The first stream was in arithmetic. The second one was last week. This was in number systems. And this is the third one. This is in algebra. So if you haven't watched the earlier streams, definitely go to our YouTube channel, go to the live section and you can watch the streams. Next we want to do the geometry stream, but the date is not decided because we want to hold this on every Saturday in the afternoon. But next Saturday is Dasara, so we are not sure how many people will actually turn up to watch it. So we'll probably postpone it. But which day would you suggest is what we are looking for. Shitty Canvas is saying, sir, what is the difficulty level of Krakow CAT mock series as comparable to the actual CAT exam? I think Krakow CAT mocks is definitely on par with the examination. Maybe it is slightly more difficult. And I'll actually explain why it is slightly more difficult. It is very easy for us to set very simple mocks. It is very easy, for example, if you are looking at, I'll just tell you an example. If say there is an arithmetic question, you are told that A can finish a job in say 6 hours. And B can finish a job in 8 hours. A very simple question is, how many hours will A plus B to take to solve this, to finish that project or that work? This is very simple. This is a basic level. Now, if you're preparing these kind of questions in the mocks, it won't be helpful. What is more important is what we will do in Krakow. In this setup, with the same concept, we'll actually make it slightly more complicated. We'll say that A works it in 6 hours, B works it in 8 hours. There is another guy C who will finish it in say 10 hours. And we'll say that A plus B worked together for 2 hours and then left, and then C came to finish it. How many hours will C take to finish this job? This is the same concept. This is the concept of time and work. This is also the same concept, but this is slightly more trickier than the basic version. This is what Krakow mocks actually look like. We are not going to give you something which is irrelevant to the examination. We'll give you the same concept, but make it slightly more tricky. And the reason for that is very simple. Whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, and I personally don't like it, that the examination is getting more and more difficult every year. I know that, I see that. Every year, if you look at the paper from CAT 2020, CAT 2021, CAT 2022, CAT 2023, you look at the score of the 99 percentile guy. 99 percentile in CAT 2021 was, I think, around 100 marks. Out of 198, if you get 100 marks, you are getting 99 percentile. This is in 2021. What happened in 2022? In 2022, you can get 99 percentile with 86 marks. Why is there a big shift downwards? The big shift downwards is because the paper is getting difficult. So even if you score just 86 marks, you are now getting 99 percentile. What happened in 2023? In last year, it went on even further. You are getting 99 percentile with, if I am not wrong, 76 marks. These numbers or these marks are roughly the same. I don't remember exactly, but it might be off by 1-2 marks, but not by more. But the trend is very clear. Every year, if you're looking at the 99 percentile marks, it is clearly decreasing. And in my opinion, the only reason which explains that is because the paper is getting more and more difficult year on year. So it is better for you to be prepared for slightly more difficult paper. If you're surprised on the positive side, where if says, suppose you are prepared for a harder exam, but then the paper becomes very easy, you are very happy. Nobody will feel any pain. That is actually good for everyone. But the issue is, it is much better for you to be prepared for a slightly tougher exam than a very simple exam. If in the earlier one, if you are just solving very simple questions in mocks, it won't benefit you at all. I can give you another example which is related to chess. I'll do that after explaining this particular question. We have 90 people who got this question correct and 17 people who got it wrong. The sum of the third and the 15th term of an arithmetic progression is equal to the sum of the 6th, 11th and 13th terms of the same progression. Then which element of the series should necessarily be equal to 0? In an arithmetic progression, the first term is A, and if you assume that the common difference is D, the sum, the nth term, let us assume that it is Tn, will be equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. And the sum of the first n terms, if you assume then that it is Sn, will be equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. These are two formulas which are important for you to know. These are the basic formulas of progressions. Once you know these two formulas, let us try to answer this question. The sum of the third term, what is the third term? It will be a plus 2d. Plus what is the 15th term? It is a plus 14d. Is equal to the sum of the 6th term, which will be a plus 5d. The 11th term, which is a plus 10d, and the 13th term, which will be a plus 12d. You can cancel an a and a, you can cancel an a and a. This is 16d is equal to, this is a plus 5 plus 10 plus 12 is 27d. Or basically you are told that a plus 11d is equal to 0. But what is a plus 11d? A plus 11d is the 12th term, because the nth term is a plus n minus 1 into d. So necessarily the 12th term has to be equal to 0, which should be option C. Let us look at the next question. Richik Dadich is saying, sir, C will take around 9 days in this example. I'm not sure, man. I just made that example up on the fly, so I haven't solved it. But you essentially get the gist of what I'm saying. If you are just solving very simple, very basic questions in the mocks, you will feel good. You will actually tell everybody that, okay, these mocks are very good because I'm scoring well. I'm not talking to anybody in particular, but suppose there is a student X. And if the student X is only taking very easy mocks, and he will be scoring high marks. My argument is that this won't be beneficial for that student for the examination at all. Especially if the examination is getting tougher and tougher every year. It makes more sense for this student X to take mocks which are on the medium side. He should be challenged once in a while. and the level of the examination in CAT is definitely getting tougher year on year. So it makes more sense for you to take tougher examinations, tougher mocks than very easy mocks. Kalpit is saying my percentile gets decreased when the paper is on the easier side. What should I do to get higher percentile when the paper is relatively easier? I think you have to score more. That is why I always tell people to not go with a predetermined target of number of questions that they want to answer or marks they want to get. You should aim to score as high as you can. In this question, we are told that product of n positive real numbers is unity, then their sum is necessarily. Let the n positive numbers be, say, x1. So x1 into x2 into x3 into dot 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 into xn is equal to 1. What can we say about their sum? That is, what can we say about x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus dot 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 plus xn? What we know is that the arithmetic mean is always greater than or equal to the geometric mean. So it would imply that x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus dot 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 plus xn divided by n is greater than or equal to the product of x1 into x2 into dot 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 into xn to the power 1 by n. But this product is already equal to 1. So 1 to the power 1 by n is basically equal to 1. So the sum x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus dot 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 till n will be basically greater than or equal to n. So what we can say for certain is that this sum is never less than n, which is option C. Let us look at the next question. How can it not be positive? I don't know what you're saying. Maybe in one of the options that it is not positive. But that doesn't matter. Okay. The question is it will never be less than n. That has to be the answer. Shashank is saying, sir, what should we be doing from now till CAT for 9 percentile? I am not asking for the bare minimum. Very good, very good. I like the motivation. I like the attitude also. You want to work hard. You want to put in that effort. My assessment is very simple. If you are looking for 9 percentile, it will differ from person to person. It depends on basically where you stand right now. But I am assuming that you are somebody, I'll give you a typical profile of somebody who is aiming for 9 percentile. That person is scoring around 90 percentile now in mocks. Maybe he is doing well in 2 sections and struggling in 1 section. If that is the case, I would ask that person to focus a lot on the area of his weakness. If say you are scoring say 95 in 2 sections and scoring poorly in 1 section, assume that you are scoring 95 in quant and LRDI and scoring say 60 in verbal. I would recommend you to put in more and more effort in verbal because getting those 10 extra marks is easier in verbal where you're struggling than to increase your score in quant from 95 to 99. If you're putting 1 hour into verbal, your score will improve more than you're putting 1 hour into quant. That is why if you're really struggling in one section, attempt and focus on improving that area of your weakness. Now suppose you're doing decently well in all of them, but you're not doing exceptionally well. Suppose you're scoring 90, 90, 90 in all the three sections, and overall your percentile is say around 90 to 93, and you are aiming for 99 percentile. Thank you. Then my advice would be different. Then I would advise you to focus on one section and try to completely ace it. Most likely I want that section to be either verbal or quant, because those two I think are more manageable. So try to ace those two sections, one of those two sections, so that you score 99 in one of them and your overall percentile will be increased. I'll explain this question, guys. Just give me 1 minute. If the sum of the first 11 terms of an arithmetic progression equals that of the first 19 terms, then what is the sum of the first 30 terms? In an arithmetic progression, if the first term is a and the common difference is d, the nth term is a plus n minus 1 into d. And the sum of the first n terms is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Here we are told that the sum of the first 11 terms, which will equal 11 by 2 into 2a plus 11 minus 1, which is 10d, is equal to the sum of the first 19 terms, which is 19 by 2 into 2a plus 18d. We can divide this term by 2, so you are going to get 11 into a plus 5d is equal to, again we can divide this by 2, which will be 19 into a plus 9d. Now you can expand it, this will be 11a plus 55d is equal to 19a plus, what is 19 into 9? This is 171d. Or you can simplify this as 8a is equal to 116, yeah, it is 116d. 8a plus 116d is equal to 0. You can divide this entire term with 4, so you are going to get 2a plus this is 29d is equal to 0. What are we required to calculate? We are required to calculate the sum of the first 30 terms. What is the sum of the first 30 terms? It will be 30 by 2 into 2a plus 30 minus 1, that is 29d. But 2a plus 29d is 0. So this will be 0. So the sum of the first 30 terms will be equal to 0. So the answer for this question is option A. Let us look at the next question. Anuj Raghuvanshi saying, sir, I usually take 6 to 7 hours for analysis and the whole solution of the mocks. How to reduce it? I think you're spending too much time on it. If you are looking at questions where you haven't answered and you're spending time there, I think that should be fine. Normally, I don't want you to spend too much time on analyzing. What you should look at when you're analyzing, I have already explained in some of my videos. I'll briefly explain again. In verbal, you have to see whether you made good, how your accuracy was in RCs and verbal, how is it differing? And especially in RCs, are you able to do RCs well if you're attempting them first, or if you're attempting at the end, is it changing? So those kind of things you have to look at, the accuracy part in each of the RCs and verbal aspect. In LRDI, it is important for you to figure out whether you picked the right set or not, and whether any set that you thought was difficult was actually easy. So those are the things that you have to see. Basically focus on analyzing whether your set picking was right or not. In quant, you have to analyze whether you missed out on any easy question. That I think is very important. And if you wasted a lot of time in any question, those are things that you have to look at. Other than that, you can look at the solutions to see in quant if there is an easy way to solve it. But otherwise, don't spend too much time analyzing. In general, I want people to do things. I don't want people to think about doing things. So analyzing also comes in that aspect. It is important, definitely, but you should not waste a lot of time on it. And spending 6 hours, I don't think is good. Okay, let us answer this question, guys. In this sequence, we are told that A1, A2, A3 dot 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 till infinity is given. We are told that A1 is 81.33, A2 is minus 19. We are told that AJ is AJ minus 1 minus AJ minus 2 whenever J is greater than or equal to 3. So basically, we are told that A3 is equal to A2 minus A1. Therefore, A4 will be equal to A3 minus A2. But A3 is A2 minus A1. So this is basically equal to minus A1. A5 is equal to A4 minus A3. What is A4? A4 is minus A1 minus what is A3? It is minus A2 plus A1, which is equal to minus A2. What is A6? A6 will be A5 minus A4, which is minus A2 plus A1. And what is A7? A7 is A6 minus A5, which is minus A2 plus A1 minus of minus A2, which is plus A2, which is equal to A1. So you can see that the series is repeating after every 6 terms. A7 is equal to A1, and similarly A8 will be equal to A2, and so on. Now the first term is A1, the second term is A2, the third term is A2 minus A1, the fourth term is minus A1, the fifth term is minus A2, and the sixth term is minus A2 plus A1. What is the sum of these 6 terms? You will notice that the sum of the first 6 terms is 0, because a1 minus a1 is 0, a2 minus a2 is 0, a2 minus a1 plus a1 minus a2 will be 0, so the sum of the first 6 terms is 0. Similarly, the sum of the first 12 terms will be 0. Similarly, the sum of the first 6000 terms will be 0. So what is the sum of the first 6002 terms? That will basically be equal to the sum of the 6001 term plus sum of the 6002 term. But the 6001 term will be the first term, 6002 term will be the second term. So essentially what we are looking for is a1 plus a2. a1 is 81.33 and a2 is I think minus 19. So the sum will be equal to 62.33, which is option C. Let us look at the next question. Vaibhav Tripathi, if you are actually doing that I think is fine. If you are spending time in answering questions that you didn't answer in the mock, I think that is a good way of using your time. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. This is a very simple question. I hope that most of you get it correct. Okay guys, I'll try to answer some questions. It's just that my throat is hurting, so I don't want to like over stretch it. Yeah, many people got it correct. They mentioned it in the YouTube chat. You're absolutely correct guys. Vemula Janaki Ramana Manikanta saying I'm targeting 2025. For this year I'm targeting 90%. Is it a good strategy? I've just started my preparation 1 month back. I think that's a very good strategy. But what I would tell you is simple. Even if you're preparing for 2025, at least tell yourself that you're preparing for 2024. Take this 1 month, 50 days very seriously. Try to score as high as possible. Because if you already tell yourself that, okay, my strategy is next year, then I don't think you'll use this 50 days productively. So I want you to focus and put a lot of effort in this 50 days. Okay, let me answer this question. This is a very simple question, and this is a trick I want all of you to know. You are asked 1 divided by 1 into 2. So one thing you should remember is that 1 divided by 1 into 2 is basically 1 by 1 minus 1 by 2. And what is 1 divided by 2 into 3? This is 1 by 2 into 3 is basically 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3. What is 1 divided by 3 into 4? This is basically 1 by 3 minus 1 by 4 and so on. So if you come to the last one, which is 1 by 100 into 101, this is basically equal to 1 by 100 minus 1 by 101. You can simplify this. You can add all the terms on the left hand side. You are just going to get this expression. And all the terms on the right hand side, most of them cancel each other. So this and so on. So you are left with the first term, which is 1, and the last term, which is minus 1 by 101. This is equal to 100 by 101, which will be answer C. I'll also tell you another simple thing. This is because the denominators are basically just differing by 1. If you are say given 1 divided by 1 into 3 plus 1 divided by 3 into 5, where the denominators are in an arithmetic progression but of 2, plus 1 divided by 5 into 7 and so on. Then 1 divided by 1 into 3 is basically 1 by 2 into 1 minus 1 by 3. Plus 1 divided by 3 into 5 is 1 by 2 into 1 by 3 minus 1 by 5 and so on. Again, all of them will cancel each other, but you have to just multiply it with 1 by 2. I hope you understood it. Let us go to the next question. Yeah, man, Tejas, all of them are from previous year's CAT papers. From CAT at the start of the turn of the century. So I'm not sure which year it is, but all of them are from previous year's CAT or previous year's ZAT. Okay. In this case, we are required to calculate the number of non-negative roots for 2 to the power x minus 1, which is equal to 0. So to solve this, I think you should know how to draw graphs. How does the y-axis look of a graph? It looks like this. And how does the x-axis look? It looks like this. How does the graph y is equal to 2 to the power x look like? It looks something like this, where when x is very low, when x is say minus infinity, you don't want to say minus infinity, you can make x to be equal to say minus 1000. Then y will be close to where will the value of y be? Y will be close to 0. So it will be something like this. It will keep coming like this, coming like this, coming like this, coming like this. When x is equal to 0, y will be equal to 1. It will continue to rise like this. When x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2, and it will continue to go further like this. It will continue to go exponentially. And how does y is equal to x plus 1 look like? Y is equal to x plus 1 is a simple straight line. It will look something like this. When x is minus infinity, it will be minus infinity, it will be something like this. It will go like this, and it will continue to go like this. So basically, both of them intersect. Let me draw it again. If you are drawing the y-axis, it looks like this, and if you are drawing the x-axis, it looks like this. Y is equal to x plus 1 will be a simple straight line like this. It will intersect the y-axis over here when x is 0 and y is 1. This is y is equal to x plus 1. And the line y is equal to 2 to the power x will look something like this. It will go like this, something like this. It will again intersect it at some point over here, and it will intersect over here. So the intersection will be at 2 points. You can actually calculate this point also. Coincidentally, this point is 1, 2. But one thing you should know is that this is how the graphs look. So once you draw the graph, you can answer this question. There is no other very easy way to answer this kind of a question unless you can draw simple graphs. So you should always know how to draw the graphs of y is equal to n to the power x, which will be something like this. You should also know how to draw the graphs of y is equal to mx plus c, which is a straight line. So once you know how to draw these graphs, you can answer these kind of questions. And here the correct answer is 2. Let us look at the next question. Sweetie Chaudhary is saying, sir, I'm facing a lot of difficulty in RC. Please suggest me good strategy for RC. To do well in RC, I want you to pick up a habit of reading. Unless you pick up a habit of reading, unless you read 3 to 4 articles on a daily basis, it is very difficult for you to become good at RC, good at reading comprehensions. So I want you to go through our reading list. To help students like you only, we have started a daily reading list. So I will post the link for it. Bookmark that page. We are posting daily reading articles for CAT, and in that you can find good articles to read every day and keep reading those articles. Having and inculcating that habit of reading will help you do well in the reading comprehension part. GSR while is saying, I think that also is fine. I think it is a good idea to substitute a few values and find out the answer. That is absolutely not a wrong way to solving it. But if you are doing it, know that your accuracy will not be 100%, which I think is fine. You will be able to get that question correct with a decent amount of accuracy, which is fine. Guys, please do like the stream. We have around 180 people who are watching the stream live, and we have 270 likes. I want to get to at least 350 likes before the stream ends. So please just click on that like button. Sir, I'm doing well in RC but scoring very poorly in VA. How to improve? I think your improvement in VA is actually dependent on your accuracy of RC and also your mental state when you're attempting it. This is something that I've noticed myself. When I attempt an RC, I'm very focused. I find it very intensive. So I concentrate quite a lot. But when I'm attempting verbal questions, I tend to relax a little, and so my accuracy dips. So try to ensure that you maintain the same amount of concentration when you're attempting VA as well as RCs. That I think will help you. Cold Coffee is asking, sir, difficulty level of Head Start 1 mock as compared to CAT. I think Head Start 1 is slightly on the easier side, which I think it should be okay. That should not be an issue. Tejas is saying, sir, I'm getting low marks in CAT but got 30 in the official snap mock. How to balance both? I would recommend you to focus on CAT till the examination and then focus on snap, because if you're working on CAT, it will also benefit you in snap. If you give up on CAT, I think you will also have that additional pressure when the snap exam comes. So try to manage both of them. Try to focus on CAT, maybe take some snap mocks on the side, but focus on CAT till the examination. That is what I would advise you to do. And I think that is also pragmatic and strategic, because if you're putting all your eggs on the snap bucket, I think you will tend to not perform very well. Don't close your option of CAT before the examination. Vaibhav Tripathi, I think you made an excellent point. Habit of reading is a very good habit for life in general, and it will help you in CAT. That is how I would want you to look at it. Don't look at it everything from the standpoint of CAT, because that I think is just a very temporary thing. Whatever good habits you are picking up in your CAT preparation, I want you to continue it till the examination. Let g of x be equal to max of 5 minus x, comma x plus 2. What is the smallest possible value of g of x? In this kind of a question, again it is important for you to know how to draw graphs. If you don't know how to draw graphs, you will not understand the solution easily. So once you're drawing graphs, because both of them are simple straight lines, you can look at the y-axis and the x-axis. You can also try to see when both of them actually meet. When does 5 minus x actually equal x plus 2? Both of them become the same when 2x is equal to 7, or when x is 2x is equal to 3, or when x is equal to 1.5. And both of them become the same. And what is the value when x is equal to 1.5? When x is equal to 1.5, 5 minus 1.5 is 3.5. X plus 2 is also equal to 3.5. So how do the graphs look like? The graph of y is equal to 5 minus x will look something like this. When x is equal to 0, this is y is equal to 5 minus x, When x is equal to 0, this is equal to 5. So this is 0, 5. And when y is equal to 0, x is equal to 5. This is 5, 0. This is the line y is equal to 5 minus x. And how does the line y is equal to x plus 2 look like? It will look something like this. This is y is equal to x plus 2. Both of them intersect over here like we discussed. At this point, the value of x is 1.5 and the value of y is 3.5. This is how the two graphs look like. We are looking for g of x, which is the maximum of 5 minus x and x plus 2. So when x is less than 1.5 on this side, this is the value of g of x. It will match 5 minus x. It will look something like this because that is higher. And when x is greater than 1.5, when it is this side, g of x will be like this. It will be equal to x plus 2. So this is how the graph actually looks like. This looks like a V shape like this. And it will hit its minimum at this point. And at that minimum point, the value of x is 1.5. And the value of the function g of x, which will be equal to the y coordinate, will be equal to 3.5. So the smallest possible value of g of x is equal to 3.5. That will occur when x is 1.5. So the correct answer is none of this, which is option D. Let us look at the next question. Somebody is saying he's preparing for CFA and CAT in November. How should I manage my last month of it? I'm assuming because you are taking CFA in December, you are taking the first level of CFA. In that aspect, I would say that many of the concepts of CFA first level are not very difficult. And I would also tell you that CFA you can take again and again. If not in December, I know that it's an expensive examination, I'm not denying that. If not in November, you can take it in June, May, June. So I would recommend you to put your entire emphasis on CAT right now without any distraction. There should be no confusion. Just focus on CAT. And if I'm not wrong, after CAT and the first level of CFA 1, you will still get, I think, if I'm not wrong, 2 weeks. Focus on CFA at that time. Right now, don't get distracted with CFA. CFA again is not a very important examination. In my opinion, if you have CFA in your resume, if you're going to a top MBA institute, it will help you a little. It won't get you any additional shortlist, but if you are getting shortlist already on the basis of other things on your resume, this will make it look slightly better. I'm not saying it is a completely not useful thing in your resume. It will be just slightly more advantageous. CAT on the other hand, I don't want to again put more pressure on you, but CAT is make or break. So your priority also should be like that. Secondly, even if you have CFA in your exam, in your resume, unless you have all the 3 levels of CFA, the amount of additional whatever edge that you're going to get in your resume will be minimal. So if you're just taking CFA level 1 before you enter your MBA institute, or best case scenario the second level in June, it won't make or break. So focus completely on CAT right now. It is good that you're taking CFA, but try to put in only those 2 weeks after CAT and before CFA into CFA, and then hope for the best. And CFA level 1 I think can be achieved with not a lot of effort. I personally have failed CFA first level 2 times. So probably I'm not the best guy to actually advise you on how to prepare for CFA. Having said that, in my opinion, it is not super important. Shubham is asking what is a decent score in DashCat. I think any score above 60 in DashCat is a very good score. That means that if you are scoring above 60 in DashCat, you are in with a chance of 99 percentile on the day of the examination. 60 would not mean 99 percentile, but 60 would mean that you have a chance, you have a shot of getting 99 percentile in the examination. So I would say a good score in DashCat is something like say 55 plus, I think is a good score. Okay, let us answer this question. This is an interesting question. You are told that f of x is modulus of x minus 2 plus modulus of 2.5 minus x plus modulus of 3.6 minus x. So basically, modulus basically means that whatever is coming out of that modulus will be a positive number. If you are putting modulus of 3, this is 3. If you are putting modulus of minus 3, it is again equal to 3. You are just getting the absolute value without the negative side. That is the point of modulus. Here, we have 3 modulus. We have modulus of x minus 2. We have modulus of 2.5 minus x, which is again exactly equal to x minus 2.5. Because if x minus 2.5 is negative, it will be 2.5 minus x. If x is greater than 2.5, it will be x minus 2.5. So this is exactly the same. Plus modulus of 3.6 minus x, which is again exactly equal to x minus 3.6. This is the value of f of x. Now, so you can figure out that there are 3 important points. The 3 important points, the inflection points, so to say, are when x is 2, when x is 2.5, and when x is 3.6. So we'll consider 4 cases. What will happen when x is less than 2? What will happen when 2 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 2.5? What will happen when 2.5 is less than x is less than 3.6? And what will happen when x is greater than 3.6, greater than or equal to? When x is greater than or equal to 3.6, all of these modulus will return positive value, because x minus 2 will be positive, x minus 2.5 will be positive, x minus 3.6 will also be greater than or equal to 0. So the value of f of x will be x minus 2 plus x minus 2.5 plus x minus 3.6, which will basically be equal to 3x minus this will be 8.1. So the minimum value of f of x in this interval will occur when x is equal to 3.6, and the minimum value will be 3 into 3.6, which is 10.8 minus 8.1, which is 2.7. This will happen when x is 3.6. When x is greater than 3.6, the value of f of x will be greater than that. What will happen in the interval between 2.5 and 3.6? In that case, the value of f of x will be x minus 2, because if x is lying in this interval, say x is equal to 3, then this is x minus 2. Plus x minus 2.5 will also be positive. So this is x minus 2.5. Because x is greater than 2.5, x minus 2.5 will be positive. But however, x minus 3.6 will be negative. X is lying between 2.5 and 3.6. So x minus 3.6 will be negative. So this will be 3.6 minus x. So if you are adding this sum, these two get cancelled. So this is x minus 0.9. And this will be at its minimum when x is equal to 2.5, and it will equal 1.6 when x is equal to 2.5. We can put this as greater than or equal to, it will repeat but it won't change anything. What will happen when x is lying between 2 and 2.5? In that case, the value of f of x will be equal to x minus 2, because x is again lying between 2 and 2.5, so x minus 2 is positive, plus 2.5 minus x, because now x is less than or equal to 2.5. So modulus of x minus 2.5 will be 2.5 minus x, plus 3.6 minus x, because again x is less than 3.6. So if you are adding this, you will cancel both of them. You are left with 4.1 minus x. This will be at its minimum when x is as high as possible. So again, x has to be equal to 2.5. So f of x minimum will be 1.6. Again, this will occur when x is 2.5. Both of them essentially are repeating the same thing. Let us look at when x is less than 2. When x is less than 2, all of them are negative. So f of x will be 2 minus x plus 2.5 minus x plus 3.6 minus x. This will be 8.1 minus 3x. So when x is less than or equal to 2, the value of f of x minimum will be 2.1, and this will occur when x is equal to 2. So the minimum out of all of them will be 1.6, and this will occur when x is 2.5. So the correct answer is option B. Let us look at the next question. Guys, we have 170 people who are watching the stream live. Please do like the stream. We can definitely hit 350 likes before the stream ends. Kamen Kumar wants a video on modulus function alone. Okay, sure man, I'll try to make it up soon. Vineet Singhal is saying dash cats are very tough. Dash cats are definitely very similar to the actual examination. Like I mentioned earlier, it is better to be prepared for a medium level examination than a very easy examination. A very easy mock is not going to help you at all. A medium level mock, which will actually tell you something you don't know, is much better. And the examination also is getting tougher and tougher year on year. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that the exam is getting tougher and tougher year on year, but that is what it is. So because it is getting tougher year on year, it makes more sense for us to actually prepare for slightly tougher examination. Sir, is 57 marks in dash cat 1 for someone who's started preparing recently and targeting 98%? I think that's a very good score. Like I mentioned earlier, 57 marks is pretty good score in dash cat 1. It is very similar to the CAT 2023 paper. To get 99 percentile in CAT 2023, you would need around 75 marks. So you basically need to improve your score by around 15 to 20 marks, which is definitely possible with around 1.5 months remaining. So just focus on solving more and more questions from now till the examination. Solve as much as you can. Don't just watch videos. Solve them on your own. They will help you quite a lot, and take more mocks. That I think should be sufficient for you to improve from 57 to 75. In this question, we are told that a by b plus c is equal to b by a plus c is equal to c by b plus a is equal to r. So r is equal to a by b plus c, which is equal to b by a plus c is equal to c by a plus b. So let us just add 1 to all of them. So what is r plus 1? r plus 1 is equal to a by b plus c plus 1, which basically becomes equal to a plus b plus c divided by b plus c. Similarly, if you are adding 1 to b by a plus c, that will become equal to a plus b plus c divided by a plus c, which becomes equal to, if say you are adding 1 to c by a plus b, this becomes a plus b plus c divided by a plus b. All of them are the same. If all of them are the same, either a plus b plus c is equal to 0, which is the numerator, or if it is not equal to 0, we can just cancel it off. And if you are cancelling it off, we are going to get b plus c is equal to a plus c is equal to a plus b, which would essentially imply that a is equal to b is equal to c. So either a plus b plus c is equal to 0 or a is equal to b is equal to c. If a is equal to b is equal to c, the value of r is equal to 1 by 2. If a plus b plus c is equal to 0, the value of r, which is basically equal to a divided by b plus c, will be equal to minus 1. So r will be either minus 1 or 1 by 2. So the correct answer is option C. Let us look at the next question. Shashank is saying, I'm scared of graphs and I don't understand graph based questions and solve it other way. Do you have any video discussing graph basic concept? I think there are definitely videos. You can just search for graph based questions Krakow. Just search for graph based questions Krakow. You should get good videos. Otherwise, you can just watch the CAT revision videos on Krakow. We have also discussed in some part the graph based questions, CAT revision videos Krakow. You can search for them on YouTube, you will get it. In this question, we are told that log of x to the base 2 into log of x to the base x minus 6 x divided by 64 is equal to log of x to the base x divided by 16. What is the value of x? One thing we'll do in this is use the formula that log of a to the base b is equal to log of a to the base c divided by log of b to the base c. In this question, because we are saying x and 2 multiple times, we'll just divide this as log of x to the base 2 into log of 2 to the base 2 divided by log of x by 64 to the base 2. Because we don't want to have x in the base, we want 2 to be in the base for all the terms. This is equal to log of 2 to the base 2 divided by log of x by 16 to the base 2. Log of 2 to the base 2 we know is equal to 1. So this becomes equal to log of x to the base 2 divided by log of x to the base 2 minus log of 64 to the base 2. Log of 64 to the base 2 is basically equal to 6. This is equal to log of 2 to the base 2, which is 1, divided by log of x to the base 2 minus log of 16 to the base 2. What is log of 16 to the base 2? That is 4. So now we'll just assume that log of x to the base 2 is a variable which is equal to, say, a. So this is equal to a divided by a minus 6. This is equal to 1 by a minus 4. You can cross multiply, you are going to get a square minus 4a is equal to a minus 6, or a square minus 5a plus 6 is equal to 0. This would imply that either a is 2 or a is 3. But a is basically log of x to the base 2. So x is either 2 to the power 2, which is 4, or it is equal to 2 cube, which is equal to 8. So x is either 4 or 8. Amongst the options, we are only finding 4. There is no 8. So this will be the correct answer. Let us look at the next question. Sweetie is saying, sir, what is the best strategy for CAT in the remaining days? I started very late and recently completed my syllabus, but not properly. How to revise properly? Like I mentioned earlier, like I mentioned many times in this chat, the best way to revise is by looking at the CAT revision videos playlist. We'll again post it. Just go to the CAT revision videos playlist. That I think is the best way to revise your concepts. And what you have to do for the last remaining 50 days is no secret. You have to just have a simple plan and you have to execute it. The simple plan is solve as many as you can. Solve as many questions as you can. And try to solve from, say, previous year's papers. The previous year's papers are a very good resource for you to practice CAT level questions. If you haven't solved it, just download the previous year's papers. You can download it on our Krakow website. Just go to YouTube or just search on Google Krakow CAT previous year's papers. And you will get the previous year's papers. Download the PDFs. You can download the PDFs directly on the Krakow website. Download the PDFs for free and just start solving as many as you can. And take at least one mock every week. I think this is a good plan for the remaining 50 days. Just do it, and I'm sure you are doing the best that you can. Priyanka wants a session on modulus and graphs. Okay, sure, I'll try to do it in the coming weeks. In DLR, I would want you to solve one set for sure and try to get some more questions. Maybe one and a half set I think is good enough. If you're getting 2 sets correct in DLR, I think that is very good. Gamer raises saying, sir, what to do after all the dash cuts are over? Should I revisit them or take new test series? Try to first solve the previous year's papers also in test format, in mock format and in sectional format. You can take it in the Krakow website. Try to do that. Then you can attempt some sectionals. Okay, Kanishk and Gautam, both of them got 57 marks. So because you got all the questions correct, you are eligible for a Krakow t-shirt. Please do send a mail to support@krakow.in and we will send you a free Krakow t-shirt. Anybody who got even 18 questions correct and wants a free t-shirt, they can send a mail to support@krakow.in and they are eligible for a Krakow t-shirt. Consider the equation log of x minus 2 to the base 5 is equal to 2 times log of 2x minus 4 to the base 25. X is a real number. How many different values can x take? For this, we'll use the formula that log of a to the power m to the base b to the power n is equal to m by n into log of a to the base b. Here, if you just substitute that, log of, and if you're looking at the right hand side, log of 2x minus 4 to the base 25, 2 into this is just the right hand side. This is equal to 2 into 1 by 2 log of 2x minus 4 to the base 5. That is because 25 is 5 square. And over here, if you have the power in the base, when you bring it outside the logarithm, it goes into the denominator. So 5 square in the base, when you bring it outside the logarithm, will become 1 by 2. You can cancel both of them. So the right hand side is basically equal to log of 2x minus 4 to the base 5. And the left hand side is log of x minus 2 to the base 5. As the base is the same, you can cancel the logarithm. So you want x minus 2 to be equal to 2x minus 4. Or you want the value of x to be equal to 2. But when x is equal to 2, the logarithm is not defined. This becomes log of 0 to the base 5. This is just not defined. Remember that for log of a to the base b to be defined, a and b have to be greater than 0 and b should not be equal to 1. In this particular case, we are getting the argument a to be equal to 0 because that will be log of 0 to the base 5. That is not defined. So there are no values of x for which this is true. Okay guys, I'll just answer one last question before ending the stream. Kavin Kumar is saying, yeah, is this stream up to cat level? I think this is definitely up to cat level. Akshay is saying, sir, how many have been giving Krakow mocks? The score consistently around 55 to 60. Any tips? I would want you to solve as many questions as you can between mocks for your overall score to increase. Typically, I would say that if you are solving 100 questions in quant between mocks, you will be able to get one additional question correct in the next mock. So suppose you are taking a mock now and you are getting 7 questions correct. You are attempting say 100 questions between the mocks. You are solving 100 questions on your own. You are putting a lot of effort. And you take one more mock, then the next mock I would expect you to get 8 questions correct. So the only way to increase your mock score is by solving as many questions as you can in between mocks. So that is it for today. If you found this stream useful, please do like the stream. And if you have any doubts with respect to any of the questions, please do comment below this video. I look at all the comments and I'll try to help you out to the best of my ability.